My fam to your fam. Don't make a difference because we're all fam. Welcome to the FamOfficial Podcast.
I'll beatbox your ass.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the inaugural show of the FamOfficial Podcast. For lack of a better term, we're still working it out. We really don't even have a title for it, but I think I just wanted to get in there and do it. A lot of times, black people, we have plans. We have grand plans, but we never really follow through. You know, it's always in the planning stages. But when it comes time to do it, it's always something on TV to watch or something else to do. But I decided to break with my own personal traditions and demons and just jump right in with this podcast. I've been thinking about doing for quite a few years. So here we are. We're going to try to rock it. And to kick off this first show, it is only fitting to start off this first show with a person that I really admire. He has been an inspiration, a friend, a cousin. He is a DJ, a producer, an educator, a philanthropist. If he loaned me $20 last week. A Howard graduate, Howard U grad, go Bisons, star football player on all kinds of magazines. I'm going to get this man accolades because he deserves them. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Kenneth Newsom.
Hey!
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
All right. He was nice enough to pick up this phone call. He lives out in his palatial mansion out in the sticks. You have to take 2 yachts and a plane to get there. But it's all right.
Don't forget, I'm very modest.
Very modest, very much so. It won't even charge you for coming in. So we're gonna have a conversation. The big news. Well, first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This is I think a great weekend to have when it comes to the subject that we're about to get into, because it's the holiday weekend. We have that additional day, Monday. So I think it's a wonderful weekend. It's crazy though, weather-wise. We got a little snow, we got rain, we got sun. But regardless of that, the people came out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the box office receipts are going to say for this 3 and 4 day weekend.
Right.
I hear that it's already broken records, across the board for a Thursday and a Friday.
Absolutely. I think I saw somewhere that a Thursday, if I'm not correct, it was like $25 to $30 million on one day. I know they said Disney, who of course behind the Marvel movies, estimates that the film would bring in $218 million domestically for the 4-day holiday weekend. And I think they're probably looking at it. You talk about getting into the worldwide situation. Man, this thing might break the bank.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
that'll let the world know that the African American community and the black community as a whole, we are a power to be reckoned with. I mean, we come out.
Yeah, we do. And you know what, Jerome, the first thing that I thought about was that, you're looking at Black Dollars. Now, mind you, I did go to a theater out in the county which I live in, and the majority of the patrons were white. So it's not only the African American community coming out, but it's also other races as well. And I think you can attribute that to the good previews that the movie received, as well as a lot of Marvel comic book fans.
No doubt.
Stan Lee has been doing this thing, of course, for a decade. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are unfamiliar with the Black Panther comic book character, but it's a character that was developed by, of course, Stan Lee and Marvel Comics, the good folks at Marvel Comics, in 1966. He was the first black comic book in Marvel, but he was not the first black African American. That title belongs to Sam Wilson, who plays, the Falcon, who was already in Captain America, Winter Soldier. That's the what's his name, Anthony Mackie character. So he's the first African American character. But if you read the comics or looked at any of the comic book material, the shows or anything like that, you'll see how regal T'Challa, who is the Black Panther, carries himself. He looks down at the West like you guys are so far behind and so uncivilized and things like that. And it's just a good place because you don't see black people presented like that.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's funny because, of course, the internet totally has been on fire about the movie, and all you see is positive remarks. And I just came across this one remark today on Facebook, a friend of mine, and she was like, "Am I the only one that doesn't, feel like going to see this movie and whatever?" So, oh my goodness, everybody just berated her with comments, of course, like, you need to go see it. So my comment to the young lady was, listen, first of all, you can't go into this movie thinking it's reality. It's a cartoon, it's a comic book, it's fantasy. So, but there are undertones in the movie that are real. And I think that's what I appreciated, them, having examples of, a black king, black love, black fellowship, black city, everything was black.
Family.
And, including black intelligence, which, our history has been so tainted when it comes to, that reality. American school system only teaches, to slavery when we came here to this country, but they don't teach true African American history. So, some people will look at this as far-fetched, but it's not. I may have to take them back to Kemet, and we know Kemet was actually the rulers of this particular world for quite some time. That's where the pyramids were built. Oh, by the way, of course, those who are listening, you don't know where Kemet is. It's apparently called Egypt. So you had a lot of black intelligence, of course, during that period of time. But I got to ask you this question. One of the funniest parts of the movie was when his Black Panther's little sister turned around and called the guy a colonist.
Yeah.
And I laughed. Oh my goodness, I laughed because that's what our history shows. Europeans have been colonists for a long time. And if you don't know what that means, it means going into other people's countries, taking over, and claiming it for themselves.
Yeah.
Killing millions of people in the process.
Yeah.
So, which is very savage. So, yeah, it was a lot of undertones in the movie that I really, really enjoyed.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up. That is actually one of the points that I wanted to touch on. The messages, whether they were vague or right up front in your face. That was one of them, the colonizer things. Sometimes people need to hear it. This country has a history of forgetting or just glossing over the hardcore things that has been done. And I think just to hear that was an important moment for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's funny, I am a teacher, and I teach U.S. history and world history. And we just got off the subject of, colonizing, imperialism, and things of that nature. So I know my students, as many students probably have been educated on it, they got that joke too. And it wasn't necessarily a joke. It was a reality.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I stress to the young lady, go to the movie just to get, influenced. I think it was a great movie that will influence a lot of African Americans and beyond.
Yeah. Chuck D once said, if you wrap your music in a message, it'll be, more apt to get through. People will accept it. more. And I think this is one of those situations. They talked a lot about, not only the lost children of America, but the lost people of Africa. And I mean that in terms of the connection that they have with us, Black Americans in North America. You can almost, and the Michael B. Jordan, I gotta say it, this man has nailed almost every role he's had. And kind of a personal thing. We're taping from the Baltimore, Maryland area, and he has kind of a tie here because he was one of the children in the first season of The Wire. If you didn't know that, so go ahead and check that out. Shouts out to The Wire. Shouts out to Baltimore City. But his character reminded me of an abused, neglected child, abandoned child who wanted to lash out on everything. And if you look at, that message in that, I thought at the end that, the Black Panther and the people of Wakanda were going to heal him, not only his physical body, but, his mind and his heart so he can, be a better person. But it didn't go that way. And I understand the bigger Marvel picture. But his character arc, I loved it. Just started this film, but it was a perfect character arc.
Yeah, I mean, it also, like you said, as far as the African connection to African Americans, but also our internal issues of not a lot of African Americans not having a father in their lives.
True.
And as a teacher, I've seen the personal results of kids who grow up in that environment, and they're angry. Mm-hmm. So his character was, just like the kids that I teach right now. A lot of them are labeled with ED, which is emotionally disabled, and they're angry, Juan. You know what I'm saying, too? So
yeah,
that was a great example of our current reality too. He wanted his father. He was willing to kill everybody for. Once he found out, who destroyed his father, and it was even his own blood that he was willing to kill and destroy. And then it just magnified the evil within him.
Yeah.
So like I said, it was a great example of what's going on today, man. And I'm hoping a lot of people really got that undertone as well as the first one we talked about. But I think it was another one that I noticed too. Trying to recall it. I think it was what was it? But number one, definitely. We can't forget this. The strong Black women in the movie.
Oh yeah. I love it.
Oh man. It was a wonderful and beautiful sight to see. None of the characters were tripping about their hair. No offense to my African American sisters who don't wear naturals. But they weren't tripping about, their makeup. It was just, we warriors, we smart, we intelligent, we follow, our leader, and then we leaders as well. And I love that part of the movie. Right?
There was one part in there that I picked up, and I kind of chuckled at it a little bit. The general, that strong Black sister, she plays on, I believe, The Walking Dead. She, when they were in the Korean part of the movie, in the casino, I believe so, and she had a wig on, and then she took the wig off and made a comment about it. I love that whole thing because those sisters, shaved heads and all, short hair, natural hair, or whatever, those sisters were very comfortable in their skin. And that skin was just so, pretty and brown. We don't see that enough.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
And along with that beauty, the movie was, of course, again, referring back to the fact that it's a comic book and it's fantasy. But to me, the cinematography was excellent. And showcasing the color that Black folk seem to bring out in our everyday life. Mm-hmm. The city, Wakanda, was so colorful and beautiful. The outfits that they wore were so colorful and beautiful it was just a reminder of how we roll. That's how we roll, Jack.
Yeah.
We don't complain, So that was a wonderful sight to see. Yeah.
The director, what was his name? Coogan.
Yeah.
He, of course, he did Fruitvale Station, starring Michael B. Jordan. He also did Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, so they have a wonderful connection. Yeah. And it's funny because I read an article today that those two potentially are seeking a deal to do the movie about Mansa Musa.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, and Mansa Musa was the richest person on this earth, supposedly ever in history. So, and of course, he was black after. So, oh man, I can't imagine how wonderful that would be.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Now that movie, I would want to see even more in Black Panther because that was a real life character.
Yeah, I heard he built the city of Timbuktu, and the ruins are still there in Africa. I heard that when he was so rich, when he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca, he was giving away gold and silver to the local economies. Almost crashed because he was giving away so much money. He affected local economies just by giving away scraps of his money.
Right, and of course, what happened as far as his destruction.
Enlighten us.
White people, colonists.
Yeah.
Colonists got to it. They were like, well, hold on, man. Where is this man getting all these riches from? This gold. Then all of a sudden they said the spy or something, and all of a sudden they followed the man back to his home, and they wound up raiding and killing and the whole nine, man. They can't let a brother have his own resources.
Yeah, that's something else, right? The story of our lives in this part of the eon, I guess.
Yeah,
another message that I caught in there, going back to the Michael B. Jordan character, what was his name? The Killmonger. It was almost like a Nat Turner-ish uprising thing. Talked about that we've lived so long in this hemisphere, in this, part of the world. Everyone else with the quote-unquote colonists and unprotected, but when we got what we needed, and what we needed was something from Africa, the motherland, how we could just turn everything around. Granted, he was probably looking at it the wrong way or going to go about it the wrong way, but that's what happens. So, there were a lot of good things in this movie. His sister, Shuri.
Oh, man. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was so awesome. And funny as I don't know, but to me, between her and the other soldier from the tribe that was, up in the mountains, the big guy, between those two, they stole the movie, man. Like really,
they really did.
They brought the comedic edge to it that I enjoyed.
You know who I also enjoyed? The guy, the second white guy, there's like two white guys in it. The guy who got killed, Claw, the one with the one arm who turned into a weapon. He was pretty funny too. He was pretty funny. That guy is a great actor. He played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He played a lot of CGI character, even Snoke in Star Wars.
When I saw him, it's funny you mentioned that now, man. I recognize it because when I saw him, I was like, he's familiar. Where do I know him from? And I remember seeing a making of Lord of the Rings. And yeah, he played the practice.
Yep, Gollum.
In the costume, yeah.
He also played in what I would regard as the prequel to Black Panther, if anyone cares enough to go and deeper inside of the movie. Captain America: Civil War. He played in Avengers: Age of Ultron, which is yet another prequel to Black Panther.
Okay, and look, his name is Andy Serkis.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, his character was Claw in the movie Black Panther, and I don't want to leave out Shuri because she played such a pivotal role.
She did. You know, are you familiar with the Netflix series Black Widow?
No, but I did hear that she was in.
She's in there. I believe it's Black Widow. It's good. It's like a sci-fi internet series, but she plays a character in one of the best episodes, and she's great because in that episode she has kind of a British accent, and then it flips at the end where she has an American accent. In this movie, she has I dare say African accent, whatever that means. I'll say Wakandan African, Wakandan accent.
Her name is Latia Wright.
Okay.
And I think she is from Africa. I think she's from Guyana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I read another recent article where she was talking about how Guyanese is Guyana. So she was talking about how her family was a little disgusted about her, becoming a full-fledged actor because they're so into, of course, their kids getting further their education.
Yeah.
So they probably wanted her to be a scientist or a doctor or something like that, like a character in the movie. But hey, she did a fantastic job playing one.
Hey, I gotta agree. She pretty much nailed it. This was a great movie on so many levels. The directing was superb. The casting, it just keeps getting better. The acting, the writing, the pacing, the cinematography, the costumes. It was great. The CGI was off the chain. The connection to the other Marvel movies. People forget that this is still yet another Marvel movie. It's like Thor or Doctor Strange or all the other ones. So it has to connect. I'm really excited to see how this is going to connect right into the next Marvel movie that's coming up, which is the Infinity War, I believe, which a part of it takes directly is going to take place directly in Wakanda.
Yeah, I think I saw some previews. Well, a write-up on that.
Yeah.
And I know Shuri's character is in it.
Yeah.
Of course, Black Panther is too, of course. And maybe one or two other people.
Well, they have a scene in the previews where a bunch of like the woman army, the woman's guard, and Bucky Barnes is running with him in Captain America. Somehow they all get back together in Wakanda, and there's an invasion. I can't wait. I can't wait. But they all seem to be in it.
Yeah. All right. I tried my best to get past this one issue I had with the movie.
Okay, let's have it.
It was Forrest Whitaker. I wanted him to be more African than what he was. I don't know, man. I don't know. He was more African American in his character.
I didn't detect an American accent. You remember he got an Oscar for Last King of Scotland.
Right. But you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me because I'm so used to seeing Forrest Whitaker, play American roles. So I'll take the blame. It was a little difficult. The one person I enjoyed, and I thought she was beautiful, and I still had a little issues with her accent too, with Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Playing his mom, Ramonda. But that's me. I might have to just let go a little bit.
Yeah, give her a break. She obviously has found a fountain of youth somewhere because she hasn't aged a day since Vampire in Brooklyn.
And let me tell you something. The way that her white locks looked in that car, oh man, she just looked so beautiful, man.
Yeah, but Forrest Whitaker, he might remind you of his character in the last Star Wars movie, or the Star Wars movie before last. He was in that
Maybe
one.
That's what it was. Maybe, you know what?
The same
Maybe
character.
he filmed this movie right after he filmed that one.
Yeah, they didn't change wardrobe or anything, right?
Right. I've seen, character actors kind of look the same or sound the same when they did a movie, back to back. And believe it or not, I think it was Denzel Washington when he did two movies like back to back, really good. But I was like, hold on, did he leave that character, the last character?
Yeah.
Out of his film. So maybe that's what it was. He might have filmed the Black Panther right after the Star Wars.
A little spillage, right?
Yeah. Well,
okay, let me ask you a question. Have you seen the Black Lightning TV series?
No. I watched very little of one episode last week, and I need to watch more before I have an opinion.
Okay. A quick history on it. He has always been a DC Comics character. I know in the late 70s, he was kind of included in the Super Friends. He was one of the new lineup of Super Friends with like Apache Chief and the Asian guy with the tornado and all of that. He was the guy that had the black outfit with the lightning bolt on it. And they called him Black Vulcan. But due to some legal stuff, they couldn't use Black Lightning. Now, what I wanted to get on about that one, when you do watch it, you'll recognize a few things. As I said, my people out there in podcast land, this man, Kenneth, is a great inspiration to me, and I've watched him do his thing for years. In education, I even worked with him. The character Black Lightning is a principal at a school. Is
that right?
He is. And he could have been you could have been him. All right?
Is that right?
Yeah, man, I'm serious. It's a strong black man making decisions and changing people's lives. When you look at it, you'll see yourself. I'm telling you, if you had lightning coming out your hands,
well, I'll tell you something. I'm going to have to watch it now.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it. That's what's up. Sometimes I do feel like a hero in what I do, to be honest with you, because working with kids, this is my 23rd school year. I've seen, kids change in time based on, really one variable, and that's technology. But it's always been the same when it comes to family, and how important, having supportive family is for any student that's in the process of being educated, and it makes a major difference. So, me playing that role in my life, I definitely know how important it is for the family dynamic to be there and support. And once again, we saw that in the movie Black Panther.
Yeah.
Going back to the warrior women and the character. I think let me see. I think it was played by Danae Guerrera, something like that. That's the one that you're talking about.
Okay.
Okoye. She plays the character Okoye.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love, even though, Killmonger took over, she's held, tight in tradition. But the whole time she was like, waiting for that moment to strike against him because, the bottom line, she knew that he wasn't family. Even though he was blood, he wasn't family the way that they, treated each other before he came about. They was family, they was tight. And I think that's one of the messages that the movie sent too. Loyalty, as a lot of the young folk talk about, who's loyal these days? Even within your own family. So,
yeah.
I hope a lot of people got that message from the movie as well.
I love the messages. I love the messages in this movie. Love them.
Yeah.
One more, not one more thing, but I wanted to talk to you about, since we're in the black hero thing. You seen Luke Cage?
Juan, I'm behind, man.
Okay. You know Luke Cage. For those of you out there, let me tell you, I've been seeing black TV special movie after TV special movie, and Luke Cage kind of kicked it off recently, right? They kicked it off recently. That is one of the blackest shows on Netflix that I've ever seen. The episodes are named after Nice and Smooth records, right? and it took me a minute to get that. The soundtrack is nice, and then when I thought it couldn't get no blacker, Black Lightning came out, and that is way more soulful than anything that I've seen before. And then just when I thought you couldn't get any blacker, Black Panther comes out. I can't wait to see what's next.
Right. I mean, you know, Hollywood has always been about, you know, the box office. And, you know, I mean, we came out, man, for this movie. Like, it's ridiculous, man. I don't see it dying no time soon. You know, I see this being the top movie for at least 2 weeks. And, you know, that if not longer. And that's saying a lot, you know. But I'm hoping, you know, that not only Hollywood, you know, sees this importance, but also the independent black filmmakers.
Yes.
You know, and you know, shining a light on, you know, a different type of, you know, genre of movie. Don't be afraid to do a different genre. You know, of course, you know, we got so many different talented people, including our little cousin, Kamani Kendall.
Oh yeah, shouts out.
Who just worked on his first independent features.
Yep.
I know he's done a couple movie shorts, but I think this is his first feature. And oh goodness, what's the title, Juan? Tell me
you love me.
Tell me you love me.
If I'm wrong, apologies, little cuz.
Right. So I just hope this movie continues to influence, you know, the young black independent filmmakers as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the black folk out here in America that got a whole lot of money, you know, who can invest in young black filmmakers. Because, to my knowledge, this director he's not that old. He's
31.
Yeah, 31 years old. That's awesome.
Yeah. His third movie in. It's a Marvel movie.
Right.
Now, I'm going to tell you how good that his last one, Creed, not only did it bring Sylvester Stallone back into the spotlight and further elevate Michael B. Jordan, but also the young lady who played in Creed as Michael B. Jordan's love interest is in Thor Ragnarok as one of the Valkyries. So Marvel has fully embraced a lot of the people that come off of that. And Creed has been greenlit for Creed 2.
Yeah.
And it can be no doubt that there will be a Black Panther 2 and more Marvel comics directed by Ryan Coogler.
Right.
This guy's eye is awesome.
Well, I don't know how accurate this is because we're fresh into the weekend for the opening. But I came across an article where he has been slated to do Black Panther 2.
Here we go.
And so they're talking about it already. And so hopefully that will be the case.
Black Panther is such a fantastic character. Now, I was there, of course, like many of you, in Captain America's Civil War when he first made his entrance. And I knew, because there was a Netflix animated series with the Black Panther. I think Queen Latifah and Djimon Hounsou was in it. It was great. I advise everyone to go look it up. This is not a new character. I know, you know, people are like really getting excited about it right now. But look into it. There's not only him. There's Falcon. There's Storm from the X-Men. And with the new acquisition of Fox, who had X-Men into Disney Marvel, everything is going to start happening now. It's going to be beautiful.
Right.
So look forward to that. I mean, it's all kind of characters, and I don't think black directors should be relegated just to black films. He's a great director. There are other great black directors. They should be across the board.
I've seen that change though. I've seen, you know, quite a few black directors, you know, doing, I guess, so-called white movies or, you know, Caucasian movies, whatever you want to call it. You see the change. What's his name? Antoine Fuqua.
Oh, yeah.
And he did Training Day, and of course that was with Denzel Washington, but he's done some other movies too that were on that side.
Yeah.
You know, Right.
It's all about the eye.
Right. But yeah, this character, like, I agree with you. Like, I didn't see the first movie you were talking about when this character came out. But, like, to me also, this movie was an introduction. Like, from this introduction, now you can go off and just create so many different movies based on his character. And also, I'm going to bring this up. Luckily, I got wind before I went and saw the movie to stay in your seat past the first round of credits, because there was another scene.
Yeah.
That came after the first credits, and of course, to me, that was the setup for the next movie.
Did you see
and
it?
A lot of people missed that. They were at a news conference, and they decided to, do exactly what the villain wanted them to do. Killmonger wanted to share their resources. But to me, that's going to lead into a hell of a second movie. Now that they've decided to do that. So a lot of people who saw the movie, they left and did not see that extra ending because the credits began to roll. So the credits rolled for about maybe 2 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden, boom, the scene popped up. And the scene was probably for about maybe 5 minutes, and then the second round of credits rolled. So for those who listen to the podcast, you go see the movie. Stay in your seat. When you think it's over, it's not over.
Okay, and that's Comic Book Nerd Movie 101. All right, and those are the exact instructions. You can tell the people who are used to the Marvel comic book movies or DC, because they never get up when the credits roll. They just remain seated. All right, the hardcore nerds will stay until the very end when they turn the lights on, because there's always a second credit scene, or most times. And that usually links it with the rest. With this one, it was a great setup for the next Black Panther movie.
Right.
And there's no doubt that he'll be in Infinity War and other movies from here on out. If you look at the cartoons, Black Panther is the leader of the new Avengers now. It's been that way in the comic books. Even Sam Wilson, who plays the Falcon, he, if you didn't know, is Captain America. So a lot of comic book nerds know this, but most people don't know that Captain America is black right now. I have one more question. The black community is historically forgetful in so many ways. All the hype, all the excitement, all the enthusiasm and inspiration that comes from a movie like this, do you think we might forget and go back to the regular state of being?
I mean, it's with anything in life. To me, one of the greatest influences on any group of people is a disaster. That's when we come together, or as groups of people or individuals, however you want to look at it, right? And the disaster is not something that people forget. We can go talk about slavery, we can talk about the Holocaust, we can talk about the Vietnam War, we can talk about all those things that, they really hit you. We talk about 9/11. But, when it comes to music and movies, to me, that's something that is often forgot about quick. For some reason, we have very short attention span.
Yes.
When it comes to the two things. Now, as far as influence, of course, I was a teen when Scarface came out, and how Scarface as a movie influenced a lot of young black kids in my community to become criminals. So it was unfortunate, but this is the opposite. This is a movie where you hope that it will influence young black kids to commit to greatness. And but I have to admit, unfortunately, based on history, like movies and music can be very forgetful, but it's a possibility. And like I said, the whole Scarface genre proved that. So hopefully this one will be a positive mark in our black community. I say, you know what? But when you look at it, when you really look at, I guess social media really helped in us seeing it. The people that came out, the black folk that came out dressing like they straight from Africa, and they really put in time. Like a friend of mine has a son who turned 11 years old, and he went to the movies and celebrated his birthday at the movies with his friends. So of course, they went and saw Black Panther, and then she had a cake made. There's a lot of cake makers, including your sister, Amanda Richardson, who makes these wonderful cakes.
Cakes by Amanda? All right.
That's right, based on character. So anyway, she didn't do this one, but the cake was made. It was Black Panther character, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. So even with the kids to have that type of influence, hopefully it can go beyond just the cake and going to the movie with their friends, and now focus on black intelligence. I think one of the reasons why I really liked Black Panther's little sister Shuri, Letitia Wright, and how she was a kid, a young teenager or 20-something year old in the movie, but she was funny, she was quirky, she was his little sister, still getting on him about stuff that he does, and so it showed that you can still be cool and intelligent at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young black kids they get that cross. They don't understand that. In order to be cool, they think you got to be in a gang or a thug or defiant. But no, that's not the case. I've always taught that to my students. I said, one of the coolest things as a kid is to be smart and intelligent and still dress fly, still wear the cool shades, still have the lingo. But when it's time to turn on for your education, you got to do that too. You can't go against your education. You got to be about it. And so hopefully this movie will influence kids to do that.
I agree. That needs to be the new narrative. Smart needs to be the new cool. And all the energy that we have accumulated with this movie and the whole movement of recent years, we need to keep that momentum going. We need to buy black. We need to bank black. We need to make black. We need to be black. We need to be within our own community and, trade with others, of course. But we need to be successful in whatever we do. And we need to help each other and love each other and nurture each other and raise each other. And with that, we're going to wrap this part of the first podcast up. And I would like to thank our esteemed guest, Kenneth Newsom.
Quite welcome.
Appreciate you taking your time out your busy schedule to rap with us. Appreciate it. You have any closing statements?
Go see the movie. Don't judge. Don't listen to your friends. None of that. Just go see the movie. Form your own opinion afterwards.
Great.
Okay? And that's any race of people. All right? I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. Go see the movie. There's something in there that each and every one of us can get as a people.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and one of those things was sharing resources. Sharing resources to save everybody on this planet of ours. We're too evil to each other. We really are. And that's because of capitalism, money. People want to ride their, $20 million yachts, live in $50 million mansions, and all of that. Yes, you found your niche. But regardless of you finding your niche, there's so many other people out in this world who are dying from just being impoverished, not even having water, taking baths in feces and everything else is that bad. So the true message is share resources in this world we live in, because we all human.
All right. And with that, I want to build on that because I have an idea also. Let's all go back and see it again. All right. Yep. Thank you, Kenneth Newsom. Appreciate you taking the time. And check back with you next week. I'll beat back your ass.